everybody, it's Victoria Baylor from the Tailor and the Dressmaker show. This is going to be a very interesting episode because the only thing visible is going to be my hands today. I'm in my studio, and this is a continuation from last week's show where we kind of talked about getting your time managed and in order for the things that you want to do. So I promise to kind of give more of an up close and personal look, maybe about my system of organization. So kind of show you, I guess, my thought process. So I am living off of what I'd like to call as the binder method. So I have binders for life. That's funny. It's a card my husband gave me years ago. It just kind of represents us and our crazy sense of humor. But anyway, so what I'm doing is stacking all these binders, and essentially these are the binders that represent my business or my businesses and family life stuff. So what I want to do is just get everything condensed to just a binder. So everything that needs to be known about anything that operates is a binder, and these binders are fully equipped with, tabs, an index, tabs for important sections, and then further markings for additional important sections. So in creating this system, so to back up, I've always kind of done my work out of one of these guys. So I find that I'm outgrowing these. I love them though. These are always my favorite. I forgot what type. Oh, this is the weekend planner. So I've always loved these. So this kind of planner comes with, I've always liked my monthly, and then I'd have my daily, and as you can see, I could write down all my notes about what I was doing for that. But things started to get complicated, so I can't really use this anymore. So I've kind of migrated over to creating my own system, which I like doing that kind of stuff anyway. I like to be a little bit systematic. So this is kind of my business binder. You can see it's a little bit scarce right now because I'm in the middle of compiling it. But I do have my tabs, which I am preparing to label. I just like to always get things kind of fleshed out and figure out what I want to do first before I actually start committing and writing labels, because the worst thing you do is once you actually dictate a place, then you change your mind. But anyway, so long story short, just to show you my system. So I think I've ironed out something that will work well for me. So before, when I mentioned that I would use, let's see, when I would do the weekly monthly planner, and that really didn't work. So now I've kind of turned over to doing, so I can do this without being confusing. So I have, okay, so here's my system. I have a daily plan, right? So this is my daily schedule. So from 4:30, which I even tweaked it more, from 4:30 in the morning, I don't expect y'all to be able to see this. Actually, I don't know if you can or can't, but it's not really important. But from 4:30 in the morning to 10:30 at night, I have my time blocked off. And based on the block, I use specific times to do specific things, and it's a lot easier this way, and it's set for the entire week. And then I know once I'm in a specific time block for a specific business that I need to do certain responsibilities. So from 4:30 in the morning I wake up, and then after that I have my devotional, my prayer and Bible study time, and then I'll have a workout, which I found out that doing a workout at 7 a.m. didn't work. So it looks like a 5:10 a.m. workout will work better for me. Then I can get my daughter up for school, and then I can start my prep for the day at 7, and then after that I will split to the first business, take a lunch break, split to my next two businesses, and have 3 segments for those businesses, and then there's also a break built in, dinner time break, and then shower and reading. And then everything here throughout is the actual things I'm supposed to be getting accomplished within a week. So that's kind of a set schedule. So that's my standard schedule, right? We'll put that over there. Then I have what I like to call my, this is so funny, it's going to look very complicated. So then I have pretty much a to-do list. So I have a set schedule and a to-do list. And my to-do list is split up into 3 categories, an A, B, C. And this is based off of the premise of this wonderful book I read a few years back with a masterminding group. Eat That Frog, or at least I presented it in my masterminding group. It's by Brian Tracy, and it tells you how to, be a little bit better with your time, stop procrastinating, and some time management strategies. And one of their strategies is to organize things into columns, and based upon importance, you put it in that particular column. So A through E could be your columns, and then the most important thing would be A, and then it would taper off. And I think the A through E stood for something, but for me, I condensed it, made it smaller. A, B, C. I know A being super important, B being not as much important, and then C is just like when I have spare time. So there's that. So I have a standard set schedule where I do specific things on certain days. Then I have a to-do list. So then that's the stuff I know that's like a running list of things I need to do that would fit into those time slots that are available. And then on top of that, because I like to really manage my time, and I found out that after lunch my time tends to get away from me, I kind of started running kind of like a daily schedule. So I'll put the day that I'm looking at, and then between 1 o'clock and until bedtime, I will fill in those slots based upon those things that are on my to-do list. So if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a pipeline. So, and here's just a blank one. I've created all my charts. There's nothing fancy about them. I create these myself in Excel. So it goes from whole month view, or excuse me, a weekly view, to a breakdown of to-do tasks, and those to-do tasks get plugged into a daily sheet. And kind of to give myself just a visual view also to help, because I still like a monthly calendar, I have a monthly calendar set up for myself. So if I say, oh, I want to do 4 blog posts for this week, I'll make sure I notate it, and just looking at the visual plan, I'll know to put it on my daily spreadsheet on when to get done. So again, this is my method, just a suggestion. It might be way too complicated for some people that don't want to do that. I know some folks where this is just fine for them. They just need this. But for me, and with all the things I had to get done, I had to flesh it out a little bit. So with that being said, before I continue on, then I have, which I haven't typed up yet, kind of a standard operating procedure. So I know every day I'm supposed to review my daily plan in the morning, then look at my business plan, then look at my affirmations, all those very inspirational things that I believe about my business, about being successful and all that other good stuff. I also have that I'll review current projects, look at any business required, such as paying monthly taxes, all that kind of stuff. And then the individual tasks for the day. So this is kind of like my normal just to-do list, just to remind myself about what needs to be done, which is nice. So I say all that to say this, is that developing a system for yourself is something that definitely takes time and will look different for different people. I've spent years studying time management. I remember the first time that I actually did start looking at time management books, even before I got this one, and this is another one, and there's a few others. I think I went to the library and I checked out 30 books. That's right, 30. And I just kept reading, and I overlooked for similarities in what they were saying and different processes and what they were doing. And then I started building my own system. And that's what, you make what works for you. And for me, the binder system is great because I'll have my business goals. I'll have my, like, when I'm supposed to pay taxes and things like that. And all of these would be split up for, client interactions, phone call lists, whenever I do a phone consult. So everything will be in its place, and it'll all be kept in one spot. And then at the end of the day, I can just close it. And then when I want to move to another business, I'll grab that binder, slide it over, and then everything's there. So this is my method. So again, this was a continuation of last week's lesson. We were talking about time management. I just want to give you a closer look at what I do and what I'm developing for myself. And again, this is based on years of doing this and just kind of upgrading my other system and just creating a more dynamic system for myself. But I would love to know what other people do, and just wanted to share this. So again, this isn't an end-all be-all, any of these courses. The information we give you, we only talk for 20 or 30 minutes. We don't expect that to define your life. What we hope to do is provoke enough thought where you'll kind of go out and be like, hey, well, this is a neat way to do it, or I never thought about doing things this way, or trying something else. So you're welcome to, if you see anything that you like of mine. I love having, again, a set schedule. There's something about getting up and knowing within each time frame. And within my time frames. It's not like locked down. So I think my time frames here are like 3 or 4 hours. So I know in that time I can run errands, business related. I can meet with clients. I can do a variety of different things. And then going across, it's, you know, I detail things like, you know, when I'm supposed to do blog posts and when I'm supposed to shoot videos for my vlogs at dressin10.com. And then with, you know, my sewing business, Tailored Seams by Victoria. What am I supposed to do with that? So it's just kind of interesting. But anyway, just wanted to share. Thank you for entertaining my organizational binder and my hands today. And we, myself and Mr. Jim, look forward to getting our faces back in front of the camera for the next episode. But this was just our follow-up. Hope you enjoy. And if I do have any, I think I did find a really great productivity notebook or sheet. I will list that in the comments section or underneath the post as a link for anybody that's interested. It's really, really good. Actually, I found, that's how I decided I was going to get up a little bit early at 4:30. So I found some interesting resources. So always be out there looking for information. Try different stuff. If it doesn't work, try something else. It's just smart to keep evolving and keep making your schedule work for you. All right. This is Victoria Baylor. Bye, guys. We'll talk to you later.